let's read about these accommodations. Hey guys. Oh, actually, why don't you read it?
Sure. I think we actually mentioned this in passing last week, but
Okay.
um, we had said on the show, because it is true that most people, normal people, aren't
Yeah.
allowed to read out loud on the
Yeah.
LSAT Flex. Your proctor will interrupt you during the test and potentially cancel your test if you read out loud. And it's got to be an anti-cheating measure, because your friend Ben Olson could be there underneath the standing desk and you could be reading out loud and Ben could be giving you the answers.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's why there's a restriction against reading out loud. But
Okay.
hi guys, hope all is well. The podcast is great. I've been listening for about 2 years or so. What I like best is that you cut through the bullshit and get straight to the point of everything. Personally, that helps me learn so much better. So thanks for that. I was listening to the most recent episode of the podcast and a question about accommodations was raised. The discussion involved the idea of receiving an accommodation to read aloud during the test, and that it is generally not allowed, but you wondered if an accommodation had ever been provided to do so. I am registered to take the January LSAT. Good luck, by the way. And I applied for accommodations for extra time, to read out loud, and to have additional pieces of scrap paper. I write a lot. Please don't shame me. Than what is normally allowed. I received all of the accommodations that I asked for without having to jump through any hoops other than submitting the normal paperwork. Hope this helps. I look forward to more episodes and catching up on older ones in preparation for the test. Thanks for all you do. Sincerely, Josh.
Well, thanks, Josh. Thanks for the update. I have to admit that I don't have any clue whether Josh should or should not have gotten these accommodations, but the fact that he got them so easily is we've been over this topic so many times, but it's just undermining, I don't know, the credibility of the test, I think, slowly.
100%. I everyone who applies gets accommodated and they get whatever they want.
Yeah.
Where does it end?
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, I especially don't care about the reading out loud
Yeah.
or the extra scrap paper.
Nope, doesn't matter.
Who cares? I don't give a shit.
Yep.
But the fact that everyone who asks for accommodations gets them, combined with the fact that in the LSAC's own documentation, they seem to misunderstand their own test and think that people are supposed to finish the test. They're like proud of the fact that everybody who gets extra time finishes the test.
This is, some indication that the accommodation was correctly decided and judiciously distributed. It's like, what?
No,
No.
only people who are going to score in the 95th percentile should finish the test.
Yeah.
So why are you patting yourselves on the back about everybody who asks for accommodations and wants extra time gets extra time and just has plenty of time to finish the test? That's not something to celebrate. That's a problem with this system.
Yeah.
uh I don't know where it stops. I mean, I emailed them, Ben. I forwarded this to you. I emailed them asking for if they had any update. uh Remember they put out that report about
Oh yeah,
accommodations.
yeah. I remember this 2017 or
It
something like
was
that, right?
2017, and
Yeah.
I found their 2017 report, and it gives all the data on like how many people are getting accommodated and what they're scoring. It has like a lot of information there.
Yeah.
And I sent an email to whoever it was in charge of that report, and I was like, hey, do you have a update on this? I'm just curious. And they're like, oh no, we haven't updated it.
Yeah, of course not.
I think they're terrified to update that report, because I mean, it's going to come out, it's going to be like, oh, 29% of all test takers now get time and a half.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, it could be, I don't know what the number is. It's going to be higher, but to your point about the timing, it's actually pretty interesting. The number of people who finish this test, each section, the percentage of people who finish each section should be the same for accommodated test takers and for regular test takers if those accommodations were necessary and distributed correctly. right? Because like if you really need time and a half, then on average, the same number of time and a half people, right, are going to be finishing the same number of questions roughly as the population as a whole that didn't have those accommodations.
Sounds like a reasonable proposition. Yeah.
I mean, there might be some exceptions. Obviously, it's weird because what else is different about those groups? But in general, if the accommodation is appropriately applied, then all it's doing is making them equal with everybody else. So on average, you would expect their performance to be about the same as the rest of the population once you
I would,
exclude them from that population.
yeah, I would buy that. Instead, but I mean, it was like right in the report. They were just like, it was like a naive opinion about their own test. That they were just like, oh yeah, no, most people who get accommodations can finish. It's like, okay, well, but how about the people who don't get accommodations? Because they shouldn't finish.
Yeah.
Almost nobody should finish the test. Like literally, if for you who, you're listening to the show, if you're like just starting out with us, if you're scoring 155, that's a good place to be. You have no business finishing the test at all if you're scoring 155. Your
Yep.
problem is accuracy. Your accuracy sucks. You're skimming
Yeah.
the surface and you're not answering the questions correctly. You're not solving them. You're not figuring them out.
Yep.
You need to slow way down. Don't finish the end of each section. Get more of them right. Your score will immediately go up. But meanwhile, the Law School Admission Council seems to think that everybody should finish the test.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Why, and one solution, I got a good buddy of mine from college who's a high school principal now.
Yeah.
And he also thinks that the whole accommodations thing is like kind of out of control.
Yeah.
And he thinks the solution is to just remove timing from every test. He's like, why do we have timed tests anyway?
Yeah.
Why don't we just have untimed work that people can do? I mean, you'd have to still make it within a reasonable, like a day or something.
Yeah.
But why can't you just have a untimed? They'd have to figure out some virtual proctoring thing. But hey, now's the time to do that, by the way, like in the online world where you can have the weird virtual asynchronous, even computerized proctoring, turn it into an all-day test then.
Yeah.
And then everybody can have as much time as they want. But it just, I don't see how it's fair at all to just give some people 50% extra time or 100% extra time. Seems crazy. Anyway, we should get off of this topic. We're going to piss everybody off more than they already are.
Yeah. Good luck, Josh.
Thanks,
Thanks
Josh.
for writing in.